Yes, Onyx, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Woo, woo. I sure can.
All right. Well, gosh, this is going to be everybody's best year ever. I can tell you that right now after listening to all these guys. You guys are rock stars. I mean, I'm just so honored to be here. Yes, my name is Dr. Nicholas Tivoli. I'm a chiropractor in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm going to my 25th year. I'm full-time in LifeWave. I started LifeWave with Dr. Joan in Tucson, Arizona in November of 2008. So our story, it was really interesting. We weren't introduced by a distributor, okay? So Joan had a lot of health issues, lots of health issues. It was after the economy was crashing with the housing market. She was losing her memory. She had heart issues, digestive issues, whole body pain issues. You name it, she had it, in and out of the hospital. And we were desperately looking for something to help her. So we started doing low-level laser in our practice, light therapy, and so she could see patients and then rest in between. So what happened was she had a patient come in her office and give her an article to Life Extension magazine by Suzanne Summers, and it was on light therapy. And so she read the article and it talked about her new book that just came out, 8 Steps to Wellness, called Breakthrough. So Joan's an avid reader, so she goes, let's go get this book and let's see what it's about. And every chapter in the book is an interview between Suzanne Summers and a medical doctor on some alternative therapies that are very controversial, especially then. And so Joan kept reading, kept trying different things, and nothing was making any significant changes. And luckily, she kept reading because she hit chapter 33. I call it the famous chapter 33, the second to last chapter in the book, and it's on LifeWave. And it talked about how it was made for our military before 9/11. So this technology is not new. It's old, but it's new to all of us still. Even today, I feel like it's brand new. And so I called the number in the back of the book, same number it is today. And I said, hey, I want to get some of these. How can I get them? How fast? And they said, well, who told you about it? I said, well, Suzanne Summers. They said, well, you have to sign up under somebody. I didn't know what that meant. I never did network marketing. I had no idea what they were talking about. I said, I don't care what it is. I need some. And they said, well, where do you live? I said, Tucson, Arizona. They said, well, we'll sign you up under something in Phoenix. And that's how we got involved. So we got all these patches, didn't know what I was doing. Nobody told me how to do it. It's very confusing. And I started putting them on her and I said, do you feel anything? She says, no. I said, all right, let's put some more on. When in doubt, try more. And nothing changed. So I said, well, just leave them on and see if you notice anything later on. I don't know what else to do. And it wasn't until the evening that I noticed she had more energy and a lot less pain. And she was talking kind of fast like I am. And she's like, I feel really good. And I'm like, this is weird. Normally she's laying down suffering in pain. And so I said, let's just wait. Maybe this is a fluke. And the next day her eyesight improved. All her floaters in her eyes were gone. She's like, I can see. I'm like, okay, this is really freaking weird. I didn't know what to say. So we're like, all right, we're going back to work today and see what happens. And she had a patient come in and she said, I'm really tired, I feel really bad. So she said, just try these out and tell me what you feel next time you come in. Well, the lady came back in the same day with a bunch of people saying, hey, these things look crazy. We want some more. And how can I get involved? And we're like, get involved doing what? You know, we didn't know what it was. And she goes, this is a network marketing company. We want to get involved. And we're like, oh my God, it's going to kill our practice because we heard all these negative stories. We never did anything. We only heard about it. And we thought, well, this works so well. But everybody kept seeing Joan be so healthy. And we're like, she was better than she was before she got sick in a week. This is how fast things change for us. So we thought, let's pray about it. It took about an hour. And we decided, let's just trust and let it go. And it literally went viral through our practice. We had huge referrals. Our clinical outcomes were through the roof. We had people signing up left and right, and we had no idea what we were doing. We call it ignorance on fire. So when in doubt, just put patches on people. The patches do the work anyway. It's the miracle work, in my opinion. So we had all these mini miracles. So we were passing people that were signing up. It took about, I think, the following month in December, we made the number 10 earner of the month for December in our second month without knowing what we were doing. So when we signed up as the diamond. I think we were the first diamonds to start the diamond when it started. And we only knew to sign up diamonds because that's all we knew, because that's what we came in at. And I think we signed 40 diamonds up in 1 week. So we were like crazy money. I'm like, we can retire next month. Let's get out of practice. This is so much fun. And, so we did part-time for about 2 years. And I was talking to my upline going, how do I get to the top? How do I get to the top? I want to make the big money like you're doing. And he said, well, I made 60 calls a day, 7 days a week. And I'm like, that's a lot of calls. And this is old school, man. I was in the phone book. There was no internet crazy really then. But I started getting in the phone book and I started making 60 calls a day. Well, who do you call on the weekends? Who do you call on Sunday? So I was like crazy, obsessed with this. So in Japan, Monday morning and it's Sunday evening. So I just started making calls to American speaking, English speaking chiropractors in Japan on Sunday to have a live person. This is how obsessed I got. So I started having my phone blow up on Monday. I couldn't answer it. I couldn't even call for 2 hours because the calls kept coming in and it was just blowing my phone up. So I'm like, okay, this isn't working. So I started cutting it down and I cut it down to 30. 30 was my magic number. I personally enrolled about 500 doctors in about 3 years period, but it didn't work. It's not a system. There was not a 3-3-1 system. If I'd had this before, I probably would have made it to the top of the pay plan and the top of the rank. Not as fast as Onyx or Steven Garrett, but I just feel like I was probably been pretty close because I'm pretty dedicated to this. So it took us 3 years. We made presidential director. And then things just kind of went back down. And I couldn't quite get a grasp on what are we doing? Why can't we get this thing rolling? Because there were so many protocols. There were so many different ways to patch. And it was just like, you almost had to be a doctor to do it. It was overwhelming everybody. We had people dropping out faster they were coming in because we didn't have a system. A system like 3-3-1 absolutely works. So here we go in 2019. Top of the pay plan was, I'm sorry, in 2019, they launched X39. Okay. I get a call probably about late July and Onyx calls on the phone. I don't know who this lady is. And I'm sitting there, I researched her. I heard she's coming in my downline. Holy cow. Wow, what's this going to be like? And she's calling me. She's like, what did you do? And I told her what I did. And she said, well, what's your system? And it was like crickets. I'm like, well, you talk to a lot of people, patch a lot of people, and it'll stick. Well, she said, well, okay, so here's the thing. To you, this was just another patch. And I go, yep. And she said to me, it's the only patch. And I go, whoa. That hit me like a brick wall. I'm like, man, she's right. And now you look at everybody who's making it in the company, and they're hitting rank like it's so effortless. I'm going, wow, what are you doing? 3-3-1. 80 to 85% of the company is doing just X39, 3-3-1. And the company's growth is massive. So this will be your best year ever. If you follow this 3-3-1, I promise you, it's working. I can tell in my downline. I just looked at my back office, 98,000 people, 92. That's how many people are under me. It's crazy. And it's because of the system. This system works. So trust me, when Onyx says the system works, do it, follow it, and it'll work. So to close, just some things that I passed up, but I really want to share. When we started a meeting, we did a meeting and we had our first meeting. We had 125 people show up in our clinic. We brought in this famous patch doctor and she wowed everybody. It was amazing. And we had all these changes. And Joan was listening to everybody talk as they were walking out saying, that was so cool, but I could never do that. And we're like, whoa. So we got smart and we said, okay, let's do something else. The following couple of weeks, we started another meeting. And what we did was we dumbed it down. We simplified it. And we were able to get it so easy that anybody can do it. So that was where it got really simple. But again, we didn't have a system. So the system that we're talking about, it works. And I'm telling you, if you follow it, it'll happen and you'll rank advanced like no one else. So I hit the rank of senior presidential director. It took me 10 years to do it. But hey, I'm not quitting. As Joan always says, you can quit once you succeed. Well, we're finally succeeding, and I don't want to quit ever. This is so much fun. And like I said, I've been in for going to my 15th year. I see more miracles doing this than I ever saw in practice. I love practice, but this is doing something different. This is helping me help people on a global scale. So if I can help people at that level, I mean, you all are doing it too. You're helping people. You're being rewarded by the income of it, and it's just a win-win. So X39 dominates. It's the crown jewel of all the patches. X39 only is my focus. Okay, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Wow.
Thank you, Dr. Nicholas. Wow. Wow, that was so great to be partnered up with you. I'm so just so happy to hear that story and just to hear, your testimony. And you know what? What is the best experience that anyone can have? Somebody else's experience.
Yeah.
And I love that you came on here and you weren't, you're honest enough to just share with everyone what you went through and how you got here and how now look at what's about to happen. And many, many people are going to be blessed from this short little story that you had here today and the testimony that you've got for all of us. So I really appreciate you coming on and being humble enough. We sponsored Onyx in the last network, and we were humble enough for her to be our sponsor.
right,
Some people
right.
get hung up on those kind of
Yeah.
things, but you were humble enough to listen, somebody in your downline to teach you how to make it happen. And you know what? We are so blessed that you shared with us
Yeah.
today. Thank you so much for
Absolutely.
coming.
Thank you.
Isn't it amazing? It takes me back to what Gary said, don't quit before the miracles happen.
Yeah.
It took 10 years for Dr. Nicholas to get to SPD.
Yeah.
So what? So what? He changed tons of lives in between then and now. And now his business is ready to start just continuing and exploding. So don't quit before the miracles start to happen. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for